Good morning. Welcome to RocksChat. Tracy here. I haven't called it that for a while, have I? If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. So as you can see, I'm in here. I managed to figure out some kind of rig to record in here. It's no big deal. I can go out into the yarn van where I've got my other thing. But what I did was I got a knife and I got every bit of tape off the light the tripod, and I completely took the ring light off. And over the years I've bought various things to record with, and one of which was a big clamp. Well, this is the one that Gary got me. It was part of that kit that he bought, and it was like a clamp, and off on one end you've got a thing that you can put your phone in, and off on the other end you had the ability to screw other things into. Well, that didn't work, so what I've done is I've put the camera thing on that and taped the light to the post, long pole. It's meant to be bendy, but it's so rigid it doesn't bend that well. So I've kind of got it into a position where it's staying. Now the other little arm that goes off is just redundant. It doesn't get used for anything. I don't know. I've got one of those little tiny GoPro lights. I could probably put that in it, but I don't think I'd need it because I've got enough light coming in. So yes, we are back in business in here, but it is a bit unstable and precarious because the clamp does move a little bit, and if I press it, it goes up and down like a spring. But you know what? It's on. And one of these days when I get myself a new rig, then all will be well. But I think this is going to work out quite well until then. I just can't move it. I can kind of swivel the camera, but I can't really move much. So there it is. We are kind of back in business in here. Now, the joke that in this book is nice and small, so it's cool. And I don't know when I think my neck light's in the bedroom. I was trying to persuade Gary to read by it the other day. Aging gracefully is just a nice way of saying you're slowly looking worse. I guess that's true, isn't it? When people say, why don't you just age gracefully? It's like, no, who wants to do that? It's stupid. I've got no choice. I don't have the money to age disgracefully or not gracefully. I could try and turn back the tide with minuscule little tiny measures. But when it comes to really doing something about it, it's like, nah, it's not really going to work, is it? So I've got a really lazy kind of knot today. Hair's still back because it's going to be even hotter, I think, than yesterday, or another scorcher anyway. But the last one, apparently. So this will then herald in much cooler weather, which is what we've been more used to throughout our summer anyway. Been an awful summer. But in a way, I won't be sorry to see it go because although it's not been the best summer, I've said to Gary, I'm ready for winter, really. And I'm not a very summery person. I love spring and I love autumn, but burning hot, dry, sweaty summers are not my friend. And some people love it, don't they? Like, as soon as there's a merest hint of the sun and you're driving around, it might be pretty cool outside, and still weather to wear your boots if you want, but there'll be someone with a crop top and the shorts on. And that's just the men. True though, they're out there, aren't they? Sometimes in the winter, you drive to the supermarket and there's some bloke who's got out of bed, shoved his shorts on, and then needed to go to the shop and can't be bothered to actually change or anything. Or perhaps he doesn't own anything else, but he just goes there and you think, what is that moron wearing? You can't stop yourself, can you? It's like, below zero, and there's some guy dressed for summer with shorts and flip-flops, you know, just because he can't be bothered and hasn't got, what's the word I'm looking for? Self-respect enough. It's like there's people that go out in their dressing gowns and nighties. I don't get when they're pyjamas. Just because they've got nice pyjamas doesn't mean the rest of the world want to see them in Asda, you know. I've never and with slippers on, I've never kind of understood how that become a thing, you know. I just don't get it. I really don't. I know I'm old, but that's not the reason. It's just like, you know, you look at you thinking, why? You know, why? Madness. Maybe I am just beyond kind of the modern day now. The whole thing makes me shake my head. I don't know. Maybe. Don't know. So, today I have my new giveaway to start. And I've been doing some swatches. I was asked to do these particular swatches, or at least a swatch. So I thought, well, I might as well do a few of my new yarn swatch. So that new lovely big ball chunky. So that will pop up. I'm not sure when, but that's another thing today. I've still got a few to do though. I brought them in and I want to do. I might do one on camera. That'd be a novel idea, wouldn't it? But yeah, that's kind of today. Also, I need to get these things sorted out for my online shop, hobbyrocks.co.uk. And I keep messaging Chris any news on the pop-up and I've not heard a thing. So I'm going to have to put a little bullet under him to get that done, because I feel like it's kind of holding me up, but it's not. I could still put them on, but just add that on a later date. Yeah, I didn't have a disaster in the kitchen yesterday, but I nearly did. I made a lovely dinner though. I roasted some pork and I made one of the best cauliflower cheese on low carb that I've ever done, and it tasted amazing, and it was induction friendly as well, and it was really good. So we had a lovely dinner, and then Gary was going to take some cauliflower cheese to work, but I thought, oh, you know, it's not really much. So I figured, I keep having disaster quiches, crustless quiches. So I thought, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make one with way less eggs, less cheese, and see how it goes. It was, I just put it in the oven. And the recipe that I did called for cream and sour cream. I didn't have any sour cream anyway, and I didn't want to put too much cream in it. So cream cheese, sour cream, heavy cream, and cheddar. And eggs, obviously. So I just put it in the oven, and I thought, there's no eggs in that, Tracy. You've whisked all the ingredients up, but you've not put any eggs in. So I had to get it out, and then I thought, now it's in a hot kind of flan dish. What are you going to do with that? So I tipped it into a mixing bowl, let it cool down, while I whisked up some eggs. And then I just didn't put it back in and whizzed it up. Then put it, like greased it in again and put it back in. And then stuck it in the oven. But luckily, I realised before any cooking had taken place. So, it worked. But I feel like, although that was a much better ratio of eggs to cheese that I had before, it was too wet. You know, because if you make crustless quiches and there's too many wet ingredients, then they stay kind of wet. And so, although it's nice, it's kind of I feel soggy. Don't get me wrong, it's not soggy. You know, it's nice, but it needs to be more a subtle, nice, cheesy, eggy yum without all that wet ingredients. So, yeah, it was a much better one, but I need to find an even better one. So if anyone's got a really, really good crustless quiche that's good for low carb, that's not wet, then let me know and send it to me, because I need it in my life. So yeah, it's nice enough though. You can eat it. It was quiche de reine, so it was bacon. And don't get me wrong, it is really, really nice. It's just not the way I need it. Anyway, so it wasn't really a disaster. It was nearly a disaster. I nearly made a quiche without any eggs. I have no idea what that would have turned out like. Just sort of cream and cheese. It possibly might have worked. No, I don't think it would have done, would it? Just an absolute disaster. But luckily, as I walked away, something just said, you didn't put any eggs in. Good job it did. Good job it did. Otherwise, Gary would have taken cheesy, creamy soup with bits of bacon floating in it. Oh, it wasn't late. Seriously, we watched so much sport yesterday. Obviously, England played Ukraine, and on my little betting app, I had some free bets. So I thought, okay, I'll use one of those. I had two £5 free bets. I'll bet on England, because I did have a little flutter on Ukraine earlier, because it was so, like, the odds were big. So I thought, I didn't waste much money, but this wasn't actual money, it was free bets. So I thought, okay, I'll stick a fiver on England. What did they do? They draw. They draw. You get nothing for a draw unless you bet on a draw. But so that was that. Well, we just totally lost it. And then I thought, I'll bet on the rugby. So the only one for England to win that wasn't evens and no point was one where Johnny May scores a try and England win. Well, England won, but there was no tries. So it's like, no, I lost again. And I'd kind of, like, my money that in my little pot had dwindled down. And I thought, I'm just going to waste it. I don't care now. I'm done. Because, you get a bit crabby about it. So I got my free spins this morning. And I won over £5 on my free spins. Put me right back up again. So I'm well happy again now. I'm ready to fight again another day. But I'm just useless at picking the winners on these. I think we need to get back to Premier League. I might be all right with that. Maybe. It's an unpredictable business, isn't it? That's why they make their money. But they haven't really made any money out of me. It's all been free. Free bets and free spins that I've been doing it on. But it's still annoying when the money goes down, even though it's not really your money. Never mind. Let's just hope my free bet pulls off today. Because the one I did today was a free bet. And I'll see my bunts go right up if I do. Anyway, enough of that. I'm not turning into a compulsive gambler or anything. I do feel like a bit aggrieved when I don't win much on this. The other day I won nothing on my free spins. And I thought, and previous few days I'd won like pennies. Michael did prepare me for that. He said, don't think you're going to get this, because on the first day I won loads. I won something like nearly £22. And he went, don't ever think that's going to happen again, because it really won't. And I accidentally pressed the spin thing once too many times and paid £1, which won me the 20 odd quid. And I thought, well, I'm not going to do it more, It was an accident in the first place that I used £1. So yeah, I'd been really getting a bit disheartened with my free spins. You get two kind of bites of the cherry in that. And I had been getting really used to this. And he said, oh, I've got like £5 something on my free spins. I'm like, now I have, so all is well again. But yeah, I've come to the conclusions I'm a terrible, terrible gambler. And it's probably not a good idea. So I'm only just going to do free spin. I'm not going to upload any money. Just a word of warning to that company. You're paying me to bet. It's not the other way around. Okay. I haven't done any tutorials for a while, have I? It seems weird though. I go in kind of like, I get a few things I want to do and I do them, and then I haven't got anything for ages, and then I do about 2 or 3 at once. So yeah, I'm gonna get that mile a minute up to scratch. I've got to do these swatches first, and I'm going to get back onto that, because I feel like that's a really nice. When you do a mile a minute, when you're doing the cornering, and some of the patterns can be a little lumpy. This is dead flat. It's so good. So I want to perfect that corner, just so then that's perfect, and then I can get it done. I think it's quite good as it is. You just have to treat the corner in a different way, and it's pretty decent. I must admit, I like that. Anyway, this isn't going to be a mega long chat because, well, I haven't done much apart from cook and sleep. Yesterday was a massive, massive cook day. I was worn out yesterday. I had a busy day though. I did my usual videos, and you know all that entailed. Excuse me, I have an itch. And then I had to do 2 loads of washing, and all of that kind of, you know, hanging it up and all that stuff to get dry, and so 2 whole loads. And then I was cooking, made this lovely roast, and for some reason I just suddenly felt like my back is killing me. I've been on my feet all day, and when you say it out loud, it don't sound like you did much. And maybe the heat had something to do with it as well. It's really, oh, and I picked runner beans from the garden. They're getting really, really bushy all of a sudden. It's like they were spindly, and I had quite a few runner beans off them. They weren't as good as the year before, but now they're getting really bushy. But I'm getting thicker beans, so it's obviously there. It's like thinking that it's time to go to seed, sort of thing. A bit like me, time to go to seed. Oh yes, and yesterday as well, another thing I did was I filmed my Monday video for the book club, and then the strangest thing happened. That last night Julie messaged me and said, "Oh, I just bought this book. Thought you might really like to do a review on it." So I looked at the book, and it was the one I'd already just recorded. And I went, oh my God, that's really weird. I've just literally finished filming that one to come out on Monday. I filmed it. Don't normally film it on a Saturday, but I thought, you know, I'd get ahead of the game and film that for my Monday book club. And she sent me the same book. How crazy is that? And I even mentioned her in that video, which is crazy. Anyway, strange things happen in life, don't they? To kind of so I've got lots of these things now. I've got one stuck on the end of the arm that doesn't do anything. This one that's like a weird little clamp. But I've got loads of these things without any. I'd really like to somehow put this in my car. You know, I feel very jealous of people that have got cradles for their phone in the car, because quite often now, instead of using sat-nav, I use Google Maps to go somewhere. And everybody else, you know, whenever I get in the car, they've got a nice little cradle, and oh, where did you get that? That came with the car. And I can never find one, because whatever car I have, the little vents for the you know, blower, aircon, whatever you want to, you know what I mean, the blowy vents, they're never the right kind of that will fit those things you can buy in. And I've bought various things over the years, and all of them have turned out to be absolute rubbish. So yeah, I'm really just. Gary said the other day, people do it with elastic bands in some cars. Some of the ambulances have got that. They just thread elastic band through the grille, and then just put the phone in the elastic band. And I thought that would happen, wouldn't it? A bit like this. See what I mean? That's going to happen. We're trying to do the sat-nav. Be a bit fun, wouldn't it? Anyway, going to get off. Upload this video. Did I get really bright then? I felt like I got really bright. Maybe it's because I wobbled it. I don't know. But yeah, my hair's a bit odd today. But yeah, never mind. It serves a purpose. Everybody was doing this at work when I used to work for the ambulance service. But they had long, lovely, silky soft hair that they would just all drape. Like they put it in this thing, and it just all drape and look really cool. I'd do it and I'd get like this bit that stuck out. You know, it doesn't matter where my ends are, they look dry. Even if I chop my hair off to this level, this bit at the end would look dry, even though it's not, because it's not that part of the hair. It's just the way my ends look. So I don't get that lovely willowy drapiness unless I have a very lucky day when I straighten it. It just depends. Humidity, that's one of my worst enemies for hair. So thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one. And I did come back a little bit there, Jane, didn't I? she will say, yeah, you said goodbye, and then it would just carry on talking. So yeah, I'm not going to do it this time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. See you on the next one.